Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Very good morning to you all. My name is Hugo Ribatika. Good to see you. Some I'm seeing for the first time. Certainly hope that this week has been wonderful and that you've been able to achieve what you hope to achieve. For the next session, I'd like to hand over to the Executive Director of SACRI, Mr. Kudakwate Ndlukula, to run with proceedings. Kuda.
Thank you, Hugo. Good morning. Bonjour, bonsoir, habari. Yes. So welcome to this session. As you have heard from also our MC that we have put these countries in this room so that offer translation services. So it's just by design of the equipment that is available. That's why then we had to put you in this room. So I understand some of the countries do not have presentations. They'll just that will be projected. So I would like to start off. Yes, there's translation available. It's off. Okay. I wanted to say that translation is available. So, honorable delegates, if you can just put on your headphones, translation is available. Thank you. Translators, I hope you can hear me. Okay, thank you. Is it translators or interpreters? Is it interpreters? Yeah. So I hope you can hear me. So I think we'll start. I would like to invite, I'm not so sure who is going to be doing the presentations, whether it's the honorable ministers from the delegation or it's one of your representatives. So I would like to start off with the Republic of Madagascar. If you can come forward and share with us. I'm not so sure whether it's the honorable minister who is going to come over and do the presentation. So I see, yes, honorable minister is the one who has come forward. Thank you so much, honorable minister. The floor is yours if you can share with us what Madagascar is for us in terms of the energy compacts.
I'm gonna speak in English.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know if if the slide will be displayed here.
Yes, they will display.
Okay, perfect.
Sorry, if we can have the presentation for
Yeah.
Madagascar on the screen. Okay, good,
It's
thank
already
you.
there. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for handing me the speech. Good morning, distinguished colleagues, distinguished ministers, dear partners, and stakeholders. Today I'm honored to present Madagascar National Energy Pact initiative aimed at accelerating universal access to sustainable, affordable, and reliable energy. The pact reflects our national commitment to transform the energy sector into a driver of inclusive growth and long-term stability. If you can go to the next slide, please. Okay. So in this presentation, I will cover four main elements. First, an overview of Madagascar energy content, the key challenges and opportunities facing the sector, and thirdly, the targets and commitment under our energy pact, and finally, our call for partnership to achieve this ambition. Madagascar is a larger land, approximately 572,000 square kilometers, with dispersed population centers that make electrification technically complex and capital intensive. Currently, electric access stands roughly approximately 36%, and access to clean cooking solution is about 14%. Installed capacity is approximately at 128 megawatt, and around half of electric production comes from hydropower, while approximately 250 megawatts of solar are under development now. The target of the pacts is to expand electricity access significantly by 2030 and scale access to clean cooking solution nationwide to increase share of the renewable energy in the national energy mix and to mobilize substantial financing through public, private, and development partners. These targets guide all policy and investment decision moving forward. Next slide, please. Okay. This slide illustrates the trajectory we aim to achieve. We must accelerate connection dramatically, particularly through decentralized solutions such as mini-grid and solar home system, while simultaneously strengthening the national grid. And we are looking for a speed, affordability, and sustainability. These are our key drivers here. About clean cooking. Clean cooking remains a major social, environmental, and health issue. So here, as you can see, that one of the first pillar is our energy infrastructure. No, we have some gaps, and we depend heavily on fuels, and we have several small IPPs. However, our new policy is to increase our access to the electricity up to 70%, and to have at least 85% of renewable energy used here by 2030. Next slide, please. Yes, this is what I was talking about. Our pillars also is to have a decentralized renewable energy as well. So we have an agency called ADER, which is the Rural Electrification Development Agency, from which we are developing our politics to give access to the electricity to rural population, and approximately 30 private mini-grid operators are active, and collectively we are serving over 250,000 people. Our goal for this year only is to connect more than 700,000 people, and by 2030 we are aiming to connect more than 3 million people. So 1/3 of the existing mini-grids is financed by this agency, ADER, and they are not operational anymore due to lack of maintenance and the high cost of fuel. And next slide, please. This is the reason why we decided to open up our doors to the private sector, because the state alone could not do that. So now up to 250 million deficit of our national electricity company. So We aimed to compensate that by some investment from the private sector as well, to send some PPA by the order of 6 or 7 cents of dollar the kilowatt of the solar. And we also represent one of the most active markets in the sub-Saharan African, with the largest number of mini grids, because some of the villages are really scattered. So it will cost us a lot to do some extension. So instead of making some extension, we are building some mini grids and even some off-grid solar home system. And our last pillar is the financial viability of public services. So in 2023, Chimbrama serves more than 630,000 customers, but no connection varied year to year, as you can see. But no, we are aiming to connect at least in the urban and suburban areas more than 20,000 new connection per year. And we are also aiming to reduce our technical loss, because our technical loss by the transmission line is now up to 30%. And we are doing an adjustment of the tariffs as well, because the tariffs we are using in Madagascar didn't change since 2009 or 2010. So, about our commitment. So we are committed to guarantee reliable, affordable, and sustainable energy to 80% of the population by 2030, and ensure access to improve and clean cooking solution for at least half of the population. This is our main goal. So I said that we are aiming to connect at least those 2.2 million people per year. But this year we already made the plan. So the full capacity of the connection this year will be 700,000. And but next year we are aiming to connect 2 million people per year. This will be the first commitment of Madagascar. Secondly, to increase the access to clean kitchens to 50% of the population, to increase the current share of non-hydroelectric renewable energy in the energy mix to at least 85% in solar and wind, to create an enabling environment for private sector in the energy sector in Madagascar. We already took several steps for like the taxation. Like if someone is importing solar PVs, they don't pay taxes at the custom. And some facilities, like we are offering the land for free. If they would like to invest in the solar, we are offering the security and fencing, and we facilitate the construction of the grid and transmission line. Okay, develop the. This is one of our first commitment, is to develop the production and network infrastructure at competitive cost. So now, about developing the production, for this year only, we are building approximately 677 megawatt of solar PV across the whole nation, the whole island. But apart from that, we are also aiming to bring more than 2,000 of wind, 2,000 megawatt of wind across the country. We also would like to in that production side, we are also aiming to build some hydroelectric power plant, because we have the potential up to 7 gigawatt. Okay. And we are not, for that pillar 2, we are not about the regional integration. As I said, it's really hard for Madagascar because there are some really scattered villages. Like you see one village is maybe with 50 or 60 homes, and the next villages will be at let's say 50 kilometers apart, because the population is really scattered. So for those population, we adopt the mini grid or microgrids or even home solar solutions. Yes, and about the clean cooking solution, so far, because Madagascar really rely on coal for cooking, but now we are we already adopt our policy, a new policy, new politics about clean cooking, which was adopted at the Council of Ministers, and to reduce carbon emission, to reduce how much of trees are cutted, because we are using some trees also. But so far we established a national clean cooking energy, especially using our natural resources, and more likely electricity. Sorry, the fourth pillar was in French, but it says we encourage the participation of the private sector to mobilize more resources, more supplementary resources. So now we are working actively with the private sector, national and internationally, with a total of investment up to 3 billion USD. Next slide, please. And yes, apart from that, the private sector doesn't only invest, but they support as well our national electricity company through different activities, through different agreements, and through different cooperation. So in order to increase the revenue collection, so now we are aiming to increase the revenue of our national electricity company up to 90% by 2030. We're reducing the technical loss, and because now we are doing some technical audit of our grids, where do we have those losses, and we are in our new politics to move to a smart grid solution. Yes, but the total funding required to have like an independence in terms of electricity in Madagascar, electricity access for all the population will be up to 72 billion USD for the whole country, because what we know is our economies are expanding and our population is growing as well, and our aspiration for industrialization is accelerating. So it is with all the what we might need, please excuse me, because the table was in French, but it's about how we are going to connect those people. How do we make our extensions, our mini network, mini grid and nano grid, and how do we plan to have that clean cooking? Next slide, please. So, as you said, we are calling for partnership. We invite development partner for financial and technical support, private investor for generation, for transmission, for distribution and clean cooking solution, and the international institution for policy and capacity building collaboration. Together, we can accelerate universal energy access while supporting sustainable economic growth. Next slide, please. And energy transformation is central to Madagascar development future. We are committed to reform. We are committed to the partnership and innovation. And we firmly believe that together we can deliver affordable, reliable, sustainable, and inclusive energy for all Malagasy citizens. Thank you very much for your attention.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give another round of applause to the Republic of Madagascar. Honorable Minister, we have noted quite some significant progress. Of course, we know the challenges are big and they require concerted efforts so that we can address these challenges. But I would like to commend you. You know, you highlighted in your call for action where you are looking at universal inclusiveness in terms of universal access, energy security, amongst others. So this is commended, and you have also raised that or highlighted that you had identified 1.6 billion US dollars being a requirement to achieve these objectives, of which you've already mobilized 1 billion, which is quite commendable efforts. I think let's give them a round of applause for that. So without much ado, we know that there's quite a lot of activities ahead of us, but I would like to maybe just, if you have got, I will allow only 2 questions that you would like to pose to Honorable Minister with respect to his presentation. I'll open the floor. Yes, is there a mic with you there? Okay, please.
Yes, I just want to find out from the...
Sorry, if you may introduce yourself first. Yeah.
My name is Fano Merengwe. I'm from the Ministry of Energy in Zimbabwe. I just want to find out from the Honorable Minister, one of the challenges that has been cited is the limited use of electricity and LPG. I just want to find out whether it's just an access issue or also an affordability issue. Thank you.
Thank you. Another question, second question before we ask the Honorable Minister to respond. Yes, over to you.
Merci. Je vais parler en français. Je pense que Son Excellence me suit. Ma question est celle-ci. Sur le plan régional, étant donné que la République de Madagascar est nulle, qu'est-ce que vous faites pour surmonter cet obstacle-là de l'intégration régionale par rapport aux autres? Merci.
Merci. Unfortunately, I could not pick that up, but I believe Honorable Minister, being a French-speaking, he can understand the question. Did you, Honorable, right? Okay, thank you. Honorable, so we give you the floor to respond to these questions, the first one from Zimbabwe and the second one from DRC. Over to you, Honorable.
Okay. The first question was about the issue of production, right? Yeah. Yeah.
It was about clean cooking, that there's little use of LPG. I think the question is around, is it issue of cost, right? Affordability.
Okay.
Yeah. Versus access, yeah.
Yes. About clean cooking issues in Madagascar first. Since 1960s, we've been using the same solution for cooking. It was coal. You know, it's like engraved in our culture to use charcoal for cooking. Now we are presenting new solution about clean cooking. There was already some initiatives even to use bioethanol, jatropha, something like that in Madagascar. Our main issue is first, it's not about the access nor the cost. It's totally affordable, but it's about to change some habits that that was already established since now it's up to more than 60 years. They have been using the same we've been using the same charcoal since the 90s. This is one of the major problems, but now we are trying to make some sensibilization. We are doing our best to provide those solutions. Now, in the capital, we find more and more people adopting those clean cooking solutions. But especially in the countryside, it's a little bit harder for them to adopt it because they get used to what they were used to use. Yes, the second question was about the regional integration. How do we manage to find a solution for regional integration? So far, what we have done is we not permanently, but it is just provisory. We bought some generators and powered by fuel, just to serve those local communities. But you know, the fuel costs a lot. So for the extension, it would take us more. It would take us more than 2 or 3 years to reach those, because there are some regions in Madagascar who are really disconnected to the network. So far, we have many projects about those regional integration, which are financed by the IFGB, but it is not for tomorrow or today. It would take at least 2 years, 3 years. So while waiting for that, we are building some mini and microgrids, even some off-grid solution, which are financed, and we get some subvention to provide those off-grid solution, home solar solution for those who really need it. It's about, let's say, it's about 500,000 solar kits, solar units that we have distributed so far in 4 months. So we are expanding our politics to connect them just for small villages, and we go villages to villages.
Thank you so much, Honorable. Thanks for that. I've got just a couple of questions from me. I think the last one that you spoke about on regional integration, I had actually noted it here. In my view, I think, but it's my personal view, but I feel regional integration, to me, should be expanded much more than just connecting people, but also how does Madagascar itself connect to the greater region? I think it's not only by use of cables, but you can, as Madagascar, I think the integration goes beyond that. Already we are collaborating as a region. For example, the work that we're doing on, let's say, minimum energy performance standards, where Madagascar is also learning from other countries within the SADC region, where we're trying to harmonize these regional standards as a region. To me, I think it's another regional integration initiative that we should pursue. If you look at also the invitation that Madagascar, which has been extended to the oceanic member states, to join Southern African Power Pool, not joining by way of cables, but by way of collaborating, capacity building, exchange of knowledge. Those issues, the regulators as well, your regulator comes in to join the SADC regional regulators, the rural electrification agents, rural electrification development agents, also needs to exchange lessons with others in the region. But I feel maybe these are some of the things that we need to expand and increase that collaboration. Yes.
About that region, SADC regional integration. Yes, first, we are, especially we are aiming to integrate first our regulatory to the SADC regulatory bodies. This is one of the first things. Secondly, there will be some norms and standards that we are going to use in the SADC region. And Madagascar will also adopt those standards in terms of connectivity. And last but not the least, we are surrounded by some scattered islands. The nearest is the Comoros. If we ever have some overflow, maybe of production, we can export our production to those islands scattered around Madagascar.
So much, Honorable. Honorable, let's give him a round of applause for this commendable work in Madagascar. Thank you, Honorable. You may take your seat. We have just heard the issues about clean cooking, that habits, are hard to change. I believe that's why the United Republic of Tanzania took up the leadership in the Clean Cooking Initiative, the Continental Clean Cooking Initiative. I think with that, I would like us to hear from Tanzania. So if maybe they can expand a bit more on that. With that, so I believe Honorable Deputy Minister, the one who's going to make the presentation. Okay, thank you so much. Over to you. Let's give a round of applause as she comes to the stage. Over to you.
Thank you. Honorable Ministers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. First and foremost, I want to give thanks to our Almighty God for giving us another opportunity to gather here and discuss our National Energy Compact. I would also like to express my sincerely appreciation to the World Bank Group, African Development Bank, and other strategic partners such as Sustainable Energy for All, the Rockefeller Foundation, and the Global Energy Alliance for People and Planet for their support on the implementation of the Mission 300. You will recall that during the African Heads of State Summit held in Dar es Salaam in January 2025, Tanzania was one of the 12 pilot countries to the implementation of the National Energy Compact. And today, we will be showcasing the progress since the summit and share the experience on the success story, challenges, and the next steps on the implementation of the compact. With these remarks, please allow me to introduce and invite our technical person to make a presentation, and I will come back to wrap up. Thank you very much for your attention. You are welcome, my brother Loga.
Let's give a round of applause, please. Thank you, thank you. Over to you, engineer.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for the introduction. And also I'd like to greet the participants, Honorable Ministers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Yes, as I've been introduced by my minister, I am Engineer Innocent Loga. I'm the Commissioner responsible for electricity and renewable energy, working with the Ministry of Energy. But before making our presentation, on behalf of the Minister for Energy, I would like briefly to explain what the moderator has said. First of all, on behalf of the Minister, I would like to appreciate the SADC member states as well as the SACRI to recognize the initiative and efforts of the United Republic of Tanzania in the clean cooking. We appreciate so much for recognizing us. And at this juncture, I would like also to say something before going to the presentation of the National Energy Compact for our country. I would like to say about our President's commitment, leadership, and also political will in the clean cooking. As it has been said by my minister, and yesterday also we made presentation during the ministers' dialogue, that clean cooking in our country is a national agenda, and it is being championed by ourselves, Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, as you can see her there in the first slide, where he is cooking at the State House by using clean cooking technology. Please, round of applause for her. Our president started this journey in November 2022. We started the dialogue. At that time, the access for national clean cooking was only 6.9%. And at the same year, she went to Dubai to attend the COP28, Conference of Parties. This is the climate change meeting. At that meeting, he launched African Women Clean Cooking Support Program. And this program was, the objective of this program was to support African women. Now you can see, she started from the national level and goes to Africa level. And now this African Women Clean Cooking Support Program, it is at the table or the desk of the AU who are now coordinating this. So this is one of initiative and efforts of our president. But yes, but also in 2024, Our Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan launched National Clean Cooking Strategy of 10 years, 2024 to 2034. This is what we are implementing, and this is what now our load. And in this National Clean Cooking Strategy of 10 years, it is where we put a number of activities to make us to reach 80% of accessibility for for clean cooking by 2034. And in this National Clean Cooking Strategy, It is now our road where we are implementing a number of activities to make sure that we are reaching 80% from 60.9% of 2021, where we have dialogue, to 80%. And this is one of the compact target which I'm going to present now. Please also let us give a round of applause for her. But for those, many countries also attended this summit. It was called the Summit on Summit on Clean Cooking in Africa. It was held in Paris, May 2024, and President Samia was co-chair for this International Energy International Energy Agency Summit, and it was Clean Cooking in Africa. And in that summit, whereby the president was co-chair, together with the executive director of International Energy Agency, our president managed to mobilize 2.2 USD billion for Africa, not for Tanzania, it was for Africa. So you can see still championing clean cooking in Africa. But at the same time, in November 2024, she was invited in Brazil in the summit 2024 G20 summit. And in that summit also, for the first time, G20 discussed discussed clean cooking in that summit of G20, and it has been put in the resolution for globally in the world. So that is also another initiative and effort by Our Excellence Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, the President of the United Republic of Tanzania. Those are very few local, national, and international and global efforts what she has done, but also internally, as you can see, she has been promoting clean cooking in the country, and she has been in forefront together with all ministers, including my minister here, Honorable Salome, and other ministers. They are leading on this agenda. So moderator and participant, I said I should first speak briefly on national clean cooking strategy, on what we are doing, but this is due to political commitment, political will, and leadership by Our Excellence Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan. Now let me continue with the presentation, but this clean cooking is one of the compact target where I'm going to explain later. Can we go to the second slide, please? So the presentation will rely on those areas as it has been guided by the moderator, the background, current status in our country where we are now, compact targets, but also we have indicated the progress since the African Heads of State Energy Summit was done in Dar es Salaam last year. Now it is exactly 1 year. So we have seen what are the achievements and what are the challenges, but also the compact pillars. Honorable Minister from Madagascar also explained about pillars, and I will touch very briefly together with the action plan, then call for partnership. Next, please. So this is background. It has been already explained by my minister that Tanzania hosted this energy summit last year, and in that energy summit, heads of state of Africa together, they've shared commitment to expand access to modern energy service to 300 million people. So that is the commitment made by Africa, by heads of state of Africa. And today we have listened to FDB, Dr. Kariuki. He has said that there were about 42 heads of state attended that meeting, and they make this commitment. For Tanzania also, this is one of the targets for compact. Next slide, please. So this is the current status of our country. The installed capacity to date is 4.4 gigawatt, and you can see what is the composition of generation mix. We read by hydro, it contributes about 2.7 gigawatt, natural gas 1.2. We have HF4, heavy fuel oil, but this is mostly in the areas where the grid is not yet reached, but also some it is for standby and for on use. We are also generating power by using biomass from the sugarcane wastes. We are also generating power small, little. Wind, I will explain why its contribution is small. We have also solar. In solar, This is now is 12.4 megawatt, but it is only last 2 weeks, our minister, deputy minister who is in front of you, she visited and pushed our big project, which is going to generate 150 megawatt from solar. First phase 50 megawatt, which are going to be commissioned this month, next month, March, and another second phase, 100 megawatt, which will be commissioned next year. It will make 150 megawatt. We also are generating coal from private, about 45 megawatt. So to date, it is 4.4, whereby that is on-grid and off-grid. On-grid itself is 4.0 gigawatt. The demand to date is only 2 gigawatt. So you can see we have about 2 gigawatt surplus. We call it surplus because we can share with our SADC member state. And this comes after commissioning our mega project. I know most of the African countries were following it up. It was called the Julius Nyerere Hydropower Project, which generated 2,115 megawatt itself. So we have commissioned that project last year, and it contributed to the grid about now 2 gigawatt to make it 4 gigawatt. And our target is to reach 8,000 megawatt, 8 gigawatt by 2030. So we need to increase to add half of it. And the power demand growth is 10 to 15% per year. Next slide, please. So this is the compact targets. We have 5 compact targets. The first one is electricity access. I think the targets are the same for most of the member states. And our target is to reach 100% energy access, electricity access by 2030. And when we were signing this one, we were about 78.4%. And now I'm speaking here, it is 85.5%. We've already reached 85.5%. And this is the initiative which is done from 2020 to 2024, because we recently completed the study by National Bureau of Standards 2024, and now we are at 85%, but our target through this is to reach 100%. Later I will explain what we are doing, initiative to reach there. Then another target is connectivity. The target from the compact, we have to reach 75% by 2030. We were 46, but now as I'm speaking, we are at 52%. And also, when you take electricity and access and electricity connectivity, what we have done so far, we have already electrified all villages in the country, about 12,318 villages in the country. We have already electrified them. And now we are going to sub-villages. They are about 64,000, and we are about 54% connection. But also we are going to connect households and then individuals. So there are a lot of strategies to make sure that we reach electricity access as well as the connectivity. We have the Rural Energy Agency, which is specialized for rural electrification, but also the National Utility for Power, TANESCO. Another target is access to clean cooking. I've said it during in the beginning that the access was only 6.9%, but by 2030 we needed to reach 75%, and now we are up to 2025 we were 23%. There are a number of initiatives which we have put in place. I will explain also later in the implementation. And at this also, as I said, Our Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan is championing this, but also all ministers, government institutions, and also public and private sector are also supporting, giving hand in making sure that we are reaching this target. This is for 2030, but according to the National Clean Cooking Strategy, we need to reach 80% by 2034. And to implement this one, after launching, preparing the National Clean Cooking Strategy, we have also prepared the National Clean Cooking Communication Strategy, so as to support and to increase the awareness, because the main challenge in this area is the awareness. So we have published and launched the National Clean Cooking Communication Strategy, all this for 10 years. Then another target is the target number 4 is the share of renewable energy. We have seen it also from Madagascar and in the presentation in the morning. For now, you have seen in our composition that we are about 62% in the renewable energy. But the target we need to reach 75% by 2030. There are a number of projects which we have identified to make us reach there. This area is for hydro, solar, wind, and geothermal. And the project which we identified is about 1,883 megawatt to make us reach 75. So in hydro, we will have about 800 megawatt to add by 2030. In solar, we will add 500 megawatt by 2030. In wind, we will add 500 megawatt by 2030. And in geothermal, we will also add about 130 megawatt by 2030. So we are in the process. And the last compact target is the private capital mobilization. This is, as it was said also by FDB in the morning, that the government itself cannot implement this target, this compact. We need also to involve private sector because our compact target budget or funded required for compact target in Tanzania is 12.80 billion USD. So among this, then there is a portion, as you have seen, for private sector about 4.0 billion USD, and the rest will be organized, mobilized from the public. Next. So I've already said this, how we have done so far in terms of accessibility, connectivity, and also clean cooking. But also, I would like to talk briefly about connection. Connection there, it shows we have already, since this compact target, after signing declaration, we have connected about 711,000 customers. So the target for the country before compact, it was 500,000 customers. But after the target, we have reviewed in order to reach 100% access by 2030. Now, every year we need to connect 1.7 million customers. So you can see it is almost, not almost, it is 3 times and above we need to connect from the previous target, because previous target as a country, only 500,000 customers to connect. But now after this, in order to reach 100% access by 2030, we have increased it. So for the last year, because we have started, we have to mobilize to put everything in place. We managed to reach 711,000, only about 200 more. But we have already put in place some strategies to make sure that we connect 1.7 million each year. So as in 5 years, this is household, then 8.3 connection. And also the share of renewable energy, I said now we are about 61.8, of course about 65 we are going to add with what I've said, solar, etc. Next slide. Okay, I would like also to now, this is the implementation. I will talk more by using pictures now instead of talking. This is the pictures that shows initiative in the clean cooking, one of the compact target. Here, again, our President, Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, she is inspecting the clean cooking technology. This is the gas, LPG gas connection to one of the institutions in Tanzania. This is the left picture, the president. So she has been following all the way in all the activities of the clean cooking, and she's getting reports on the implementation. But when you see on your right is our deputy Minister for Energy in front of you. Is cooking our famous food in Tanzania. Is rice, we call it pilau. So you can see he's been in front with a number of people, but what he's doing here is doing promotion and launching of the clean cooking technologies. You can see there different types of technologies. You can see that is LPG, but we have a cooking stove by using electricity, pressure cookers, and the others. So at this area, this is one of the promotion and launching of this clean cooking technology. Next. And here you see, this is this is our minister, energy minister, and deputy minister who is seated in front of you. And this, we were launching program for e-cooking. This is clean cooking by using electricity, because most of the people think that electricity is very expensive. It is not possible for cooking, but in Tanzania, in order to move faster, we call it pika kijanja, or cook smart. And if you say cook smart, pika kijanja, then you use electricity. So there are a number of different cookers there which are using electricity. We have induction cookers, we have pressure cookers, etc. So the two ministers, honorable minister and deputy, they were launching this e-cooking program in the country. And what we have done, the first thing, we have distributed these cookers, electricity cookers, induction, to all ministers, all permanent, members of parliament, but also government civil servants. So those are the initiative. And this distribution is not only for this, but also for other technologies like LPG. We started from the ministers, members of parliament, and also civil servants to show example. Next slide. As I said, there is also another strategy. In the National Clean Cooking Strategy, we have said that we need to identify all institutions which fits people more than 100 to have these clean cooking facilities. So all institutions which fits more than 100 people, they've been distributed, but also supported to have clean cooking technologies. This is like new security organs, like prisons, all prisons, you know, prisons are a lot of people, so they are using, instead of using wooden fuel, now they are using LPG gas, but also in the new defense forces and also other security organs. So this is one, just to show that we are distributing this, but we are constructing the infrastructure to the prisons. On the right, that is the factory which is producing, we call it improved charcoal. Improved charcoal is coming from the coal, whereby you process coal, you remove all poisonous gases like carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, then you remain with the clean charcoal, which is we call improved charcoal. So we have the factory which has been made by, which is under the government, we call it State Mining Company. So there, the technical people have visited and also see how it can produce this clean charcoal. Next. So this is the charcoal which I'm said. It's called Nishati Safi Rafiki briquettes. That is clean energy, friendly briquettes. These briquettes are coming from coal. They are being processed, as I said, to remove all poisonous. And you can see now there how they are being used. They can boil maize, they cook food, and do a number of activities. So we are producing them, and this is where we are distributing to the household, of course, at certain low cost, so as to speed up the use of clean cooking by using all technologies. This is we call improved charcoal stoves. Next. So those was clean cooking, and here now accessibility. As you can see, I said we have already electrified all the villages. Here in front of you, Honorable Deputy Minister for Energy now is switching on the light in the village to indicate that now this house has been electrified. We connect all houses regardless of what type. So this is one of the house which has been electrified, and the minister here was switching on the light now to show that this house is electrified. And this falls on the target of connectivity and the accessibility, whereby I said we have already electrified all villages. On the right picture, again, the minister is inspecting, she's inspecting the grid substation. As we said, also rehabilitation, one of the pillars is grid rehabilitation. So she's inspecting one of the big grid substation in Tanzania, about 700 MVA, which is 560 megawatt. Now is connecting from our mega project. It is in Dodoma, capital city, to connect in the backbone. This is a 400 kV substation. Next. This is another picture. You can see all these pictures are related to the national compact target. And this one is the increasing renewable share of energy. This is the increased renewable share, but also regional project. You can see two presidents, Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, our president, but also the president of the Republic of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Here they are launching. Yes, I'm finishing. They are launching the hydropower project at the border, about 14 megawatts. So this one is also one of the initiatives to increase the renewable share. Next. I'll go fast. I'm told that time is almost over. Also, this one in renewable share on left, this is geothermal. At this area, we are trying to do resource confirmation of one of the wells in Mbeya. On the right-hand side, as I said, we are commissioning 150 megawatt solar PV project. Now it is almost completed. 50 megawatt will come next month. Then next year, we'll have 100 megawatt to make it 150. Next. This is a policy intervention on private sector participation. We are now reviewing all our power purchase agreement to attract the private sector. So all those obstacles are going to be removed to attract the private sector. Next. This is now regional integration. We are at the center of Eastern African Power Pool and Southern African Power Pool. We have already completed this transmission line. We call it Kenya-Tanzania Power Interconnector Project. We have completed about 514 kilometers from Tanzania to Kenya, and we are now connected to Ethiopia up to Cairo. So through this, we are going to connect SAP. This one is already completed. Next. This is now TAZA, Tanzania-Zambia Interconnector. We are connecting with Zambia. This project transmission line is at 92%. It's going to complete this year transmission line. Transmission line is at about 54%, so overall is 74%. Now, once we connect it, we finish this project, and that for East Africa, we will connect Southern African Power Pool and Eastern African Power Pool. We are going also to connect with Uganda, with Malawi, and Mozambique. Next. This is the area where we're going to connect with Malawi. The project is in progress. On Tanzania side, one of the substations in Tanzania-Zambia interconnector, but this is also the point. After completion of this substation, we will connect with Malawi through 400 kV. This is the SAP and the APP. This is some of our mega projects in Tanzania. The left one is what I said. We have commissioned last year 2.1 gigawatt. We call it Julius Nyerere Hydropower Project. And the right one is the gas-fired power plant. It is combined cycle power plant, which contribute to the national grid. Next. Well, the pillars is the same. It has been also said by our colleague from Madagascar. So those are the 5 pillars for our National Energy Compact. Next. The challenges. This is the challenges, and maybe on behalf of my minister, I would like to request now to get support on the implementation of Compact, because the main challenge are 2, financing gap still. Until now, we are using a government budget to implement this. There is very little support, so we are still seeking first the private sector, as has been said, but also development partners and the others to come and support us. Next. These are the pillars, and with actions, what we are doing on those 5 pillars. As you can see, there is a lot of activities we have said we are going to implement on those five pillars. Next, some of these activities already done. Now this is the last slide, and also I want to, through my minister, I would like also to call for partnership. As I said, this is the amount which we need to implement this compact target. 12.8 billion USD. You can see how we have identified in every area. Generation is how much? 4.1. Public is how much? Private is how much? And why we have done that? That amount also, we have already also identified the project for public and for private. So we need to mobilize for public about 8.8 billion USD, and for private 4.04 billion USD in order to implement. Of course, some of the activities already done, but still we need your support. So through my minister, the government invites development partners, private sector stakeholders to support Tanzania journey towards universal access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, inclusive, and clean energy. Next, last slide. So on behalf of my minister, I would like to submit our presentation and also to welcome Tanzania. That is the highest mountain in Africa. Some of you have already reached Kilimanjaro, and that one is also our lovely Ngorongoro National Park. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner Loga. Thanks so much. I don't know if maybe we can just take a seat. Maybe there will be just one from our delegates. Please, if any one or two questions from the United Republic of that you want to pose to the United Republic of Tanzania. Yes, please, if you may just introduce yourself and then post your question.
Thank you, moderator. My name is Ndompage Konye. I'm from the Rural Electrification Fund. Honorable Minister, Engineer, you have talked about electrification as electricity connection and also I'm failing to phrase it, but there's two different types of connection where you are talking about grid connection and other types of connection. What is the real big difference that is there? We would like to know, because your connection rate to me is quite impressive at 75%. And you are saying the other grid connection is at 46%. And how have you achieved that difference between the 46 and the other one? I hope I was clear. I'm failing to put it across correctly, but I think you got me.
Thank you. Thank you. Can I have one more question? Yes, over to you. Wait. It's okay? C'est bon?
Merci. J'aborde pas dans le même sens, mais je voulais féliciter beaucoup plus la Tanzanie pour cet exploit, comme Madame a dit, sur le taux en Afrique subsaharienne. J'aurais bien voulu connaître le secret. Oui, allô? Oui, donc je disais que ce que Madame a dit sur le off-grid, ça atteint 364 mégas si ma mémoire est bonne. Et quelle est vraiment la démarche appropriée pour atteindre ces chiffres-là, puisque c'est un peu impressionnant en Afrique subsaharienne qu'on puisse se retrouver avec des chiffres sur les off-grid. Je voulais encore parler on a parlé de la Tanzanie comme pionnière de la cuisson propre. Ça aussi, c'est vraiment à féliciter. Mais si on peut nous donner la démarche technique que vous avez appliquée et puis la démarche sur le plan communication pour que les gens puissent s'en approprier et avancer. Donc l'approche technique et l'approche communicationnelle. Je vais chuter par la biomasse. Là aussi, c'est beaucoup plus impressionnant quand vous regardez les chiffres que vous avez utilisés. Comment vous faites pour produire assez avec la biomasse? Merci.
So yes, we've got two questions. One from, sorry for the sake of time, because I've got 3 more presentations coming and we're only left with 4 minutes. So I'd like just respond to this quick.
Thank you very much, our moderator. And also thank you very much to Honorable Minister and the members of the floor for the good questions. I would like to appreciate your comment on our progress towards clean cooking in the country. Being honest, as what the minister has just said, it was not easy for us to get to where we are right now. So on the first question, it is technical. My colleague is going to reply, but let me address the question that have been asked by the Honorable Minister. Your first question is, how did we manage to get into those good numbers? They sound too good to be true sometimes, perhaps. Yeah, okay, so first is the political will of our leader, the Honorable President, Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan. Was, before she became the president, when she was the vice president, she was the champion of clean cooking, environment, and equal access to energy. She was the champion. That was her portfolio when she was the vice president. So when she came into power, it became also her very big priority. I believe that was the reason why Africa and the globe trusted her and made her the global champion on that. So we do have 2 state-owned companies which deals with utility. We have our state company which deals with utility in the urban areas, but we have another one which deals with utility in the rural areas. And for these 2 state-owned companies, the one in urban, it is a private. It's like a private company. It plans for its budget, and we do put a lot of subsidies to make sure that the cost for connectivity, cost for productivity is very low to the extent that normal citizens can manage. And for the Rural Electrification Agency, the Parliament has put a ring-fenced budget. So it has got its own specific source of income, income for that agency, and that is ring-fenced. No matter how much the national budget is going to twist, that money is going directly into that agency, and that makes it having a stable finances to project for its activities. So I think that's the core secret to us as to why did we manage to get into this. That being number one. But in relation to clean cooking as well, after the energy compact that was done in January last year, we went back home and did our national energy clean cooking strategic plan. And with that strategic plan, it was vested to the Ministry of Energy per se, but every ministry and every government hierarchy was given responsibility to make sure that they can help to implement the strategic plan. For example, the regional commissioners were given the target. It was a contractual target to make sure that they go and plan every year and give feedback to the president how much they have implemented this plan. For the Ministry of Energy, we were given responsibility to make sure that we implement through our budget and involvement of the private sector. And from that national strategic plan, the involvement of a parliamentarian was also a key factor that pushed us to reach our targets. When we started the use of clean energy, the Ministry of Energy, in collaboration with the whole government, distributed LPG, 6 kilogram LPG to all. There is a, old habit dies so hard. There is a myth that sometimes people have to just use charcoal. So for us to quickly change the community perspective on how they see the use of LPG and clean cooking, it was easy to go through our more than almost 400 members of parliament to go distribute and give sensitization and awareness to the community. So I think that was another factor that pushed it. But another strategy that we used...
Sorry, Honorable Minister, I have 3 more presentations coming after you.
The last strategy that we used, we had to go to bigger groups who are mostly using fossil fuel or whatever, the not clean energy. For example, the government institutions, schools, markets, and so we had to go to those big chunks of people who are using or are polluting environment. So that boosted the number to the limits. So of course we have a lot, and you can have our presentation with you when you get back home. And we invite you to Tanzania to get to learn much about it. But I would love to invite my colleague to reply to our sister's question. Thank you.
Commissioner, you have 30 seconds. As an engineer, straight to the point.
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for giving me again this chance. I will respond to the technical questions, 2 technical questions. The first one about connectivity and accessibility. Connectivity means connecting individual household to the house. That is connectivity. But accessibility is making sure that the electricity is reaching everywhere, although some of the people are not connected, but they can access the service of the electricity. So we always count, of course it is in the formula, 600 meters from the transformer. So anyone who is about 600 meters from the transformer, regardless you are not connected, your house is not connected, but you can get service like water pumps, photocopier, etc. Then you have the access. So now is 85 because we are covering the whole country to have accessibility. Then we go now to connect each house. That is the first question, technical one. The second question is about biomass. How we have reached this one? Yes, biomass, we have prepared the SPP framework, Small Power Producers Framework. This one attracts all these sugar factories. They produce electricity, excess electricity they sell to TANESCO. So there is a very good framework whereby they can sell to TANESCO, to national power utility with a good price, and therefore it is encouraged the number of sugar factories as soon as they produce sugar, at the same time those wastes, they produce electricity and sell it to the national utility. And we are encouraging them. Apart from this, we have also legal, regulatory, and institutional framework in place, which are attracting this private sector in the biomass. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think let's give them a round of applause. This is really, really commendable. From being the champion of clean cooking, I think you are also a champion in many aspects, reforms, how people can collaborate, working together, all facets of government and society. This is commendable. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a round of applause again. Thank you so much, Tanzania. From Tanzania, then United Republic of Tanzania, then we move on to the Republic of Mozambique. Bon dia. So please come forward and make your presentation. I'm informed we have 30 minutes to go to the next session, and I've got 2 presentations.
But I know my permanent secretary as my boss. You know, it's always difficult, but I believe he can do justice.
Yeah.
Over to you.
Yeah. Honorable ministers, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I think next time I will deliver my speech with or my presentation in Portuguese or Swahili, but because it's a SADC language, I can speak Swahili fluently, but I will try to deliver in English. Okay, next slide. What time is over? Please. Next slide. Okay, this is a table of content. Next slide. Well, before to go to National Energy Compact, I have to give you overview of the sector. As I said yesterday, we start in 2018. We had only 35% of access to electricity. And at that time, our president launched a program called Energia para Todos. Para quem who speak Portuguese knows, is energy for all. That means we connect freely everyone when the grid is. In the cities, where the grid is available, we go there and force him to have electricity. Now we are forcing them, house by house. Yeah, because it's free. Even when we don't have any installation in the house, we can help you at least to have one lamp or two lamps, but to have to access to electricity. That is, where there's no grid, we go to all our homes, solar home system and mini grids. That's why we can see that achievement. From 31% in 2018 to 66 now, end of 2025. And our target really is 100%, but I'm confident that we will not get there, but at least 90 something on 2029 or 30 we'll get it, but, or 89 or 90. For us, access is house connected. We have a contract with the utility and multiply by 5 people. This is the family number according to our Bureau of Statistics. One who signed contract with our utility, multiply by 5. That's and annually, we are reach more than 400,000 new connections. And then that we can multiply by 5, we'll get how many people has access to electricity. I think that was the international formula. Next slide. You can see Mozambique is a long country, not like other countries, like Cyclo. Mozambique to build lines from north to south is a challenge. It's more than 2,700 kilometers. And imagine, it's a huge investment. But we're connected all district headquarters, all provinces, many villages, and now we're going to 2 very small villages. You can see there how many kilometers now today is, and how many kilometers we are planning to build. We have here Shimura Alto Molokwe. The second one is Temane Maputo. That's Temane Maputo is linked to gas power plant, as I said yesterday. Next year we'll commission the gas master plant, 450 megawatts. That line will bring to Gaza from Inyambani province to Maputo and then connect to SAP. And the other line is Mozambique, Malawi, that was already said. And this morning, Vice President of ADB said about Matambo Songo. Next. In terms of other achievements, we have more than 89 mini grids, 980 mini grids, 434 modern, as I said, more than 400,000 connections per year. And in terms of funds, we already mobilized 143 million from donors and from government, 94. Next, time is money. In terms of clean cooking, we have, as you know, have a lot of gas in the south and north of Mozambique. We now have a program of massification of using LPG. We're busy of construction of filling station of LPG. And the last year in December, we finished and commissioned the LPG plant. From this plant we will reduce our import of LPG by 70%. Now 30% will be import now, but now we are already finished and commissioned the plant of LPG in Mozambique. Next. Now we go to compact overview. As I said before, the compact is aligned with the planning instrument like National Electrification Strategy and the Universal Access Strategy by 2030. Next. Yes. In terms of electricity, we'll start from 66, as I said, in 2025. Now that figure is not updated to 100% on 2030. That is a dream. Dream, I think, will not reach there, but will be close to 100%. That is the reality because of finance. Not so easy to get it. From our plan, we are planning to have 4.9 million new connections this time, off-grid and on-grid. In terms of clean access, from 17% to 35%. Tanzania is better today, but we are going there. In terms of our share and Matrix share, energy market share, we will reach 8.6% renewable energy. Our energy matrix is very clean. I think it's one is clean in Africa. You can see now we have 78% renewable. And by 2030 will be 8% renewable. Very clean. We don't have coal power stations. We're not planning, but we have 25 billion tons on top of the reserve. But we're not planning to have any coal power station. We're exporting coal to Asia and to other countries, and from those money, those funds, we are building clean power stations, solar, wind, and the others. Next. Now we go to opportunities and challenges. I will not go go to challenges because they are common, and the only I want to underline one project that was talking yesterday. Many presenters from ADB, from myself, and the World Bank is in Pandankua. It's a good track. By next year, we'll reach financial close, and we're expecting to start construction on 2029. That's 2029. We have to start definitely, because we are talking about Pandankua and SADC past 20 years, last 20 years, Pandankua, every meeting, every conference. Also, we were, in terms of regulatory reforms, we have to submit to the government to approve system operator, market operator. That's will be, I think, will be for the market and the investment attraction will be good for the country. And now we are constructing national control center. That is very important for the export of electricity through SAP. Next. Go next. Go to implementation. Next, yes. Yeah. What was implementation? As I said, we are very aligned with the national strategy of electrification. We have already approved energy transition strategy, and we have an electricity master plan. Everything's coming from those instruments. In terms of commitment, government is committed and is controlled by even by cabinet. Every 3 months, we are reporting President Cabinet to ensure that everything is going according to the plan. And we have established unity, electrification planning and the coordination unit, who is in charge of everything that is happening in the electrification and the energy sector. Next. In terms of achievement, because as we realize that we have very few time, now it's 2026 to 2030 and 4 years remaining, and many challenges. We can't solve the challenge without moving. That's why now we are busy approving concession regulation that was already submitted to government and will be approved by March. We planned January, but January was so difficult to approve because it was not ready. Efficiency regulations also will be approved because strategy was approved, but it's remaining regulation. In terms of connection, interconnection with SADC, as I said, Malawi will be connected with Mozambique this year in June. Other transmission line we are planning to build with Zambia. Last year we signed agreement, and now we are busy looking for funds, different partners to start construction. Next. Yeah, those is issue that I said before, where our commitment is to go close to 100% by 2030, and in terms of funds, total funds for our compact is $18.6 billion. $18.6 billion. Private sector will contribute by 8.7, coming from private sector, 8.7 billion, and the public 9.9. Was not there, but I'm reading. I'm saying to be known. Okay, that was my presentation. I have 2 slides here, but I think the most important was said. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, PS. If you may take a seat,
Yeah.
just a couple of questions from the floor. Permanent Secretary, I'm a big fan of gas. Why? Because I believe it can make great strides in terms of clean cooking and also industrialization. So please, we're banking on that gas. You know the gas master plan. We spoke about it a couple of times. Let's put it into action. So I look forward to that. And as well as Mpandangoa, we're all talking about Mpandangoa, as you mentioned. Let's bring it on. So, dear participants, I'll open the floor for a couple of questions that you would like to pose to Mozambique. And I see your hands. You are satisfied with the presentation from Mozambique, right? Okay. Thank you so much, PS. Muito obrigado. Okay. Let's give him a round of applause. So, ladies and gentlemen, we would like now to conclude this session with a presentation from the Democratic Republic of Congo. I'm informed that there is no presentation, but it will just be some interventions, right? DRC Congo, would you like to come forward, or you can take a seat? Maybe you can make your intervention from the. Yeah, you can take a seat and then make your intervention from there. Since you are not making a PowerPoint presentation.
Merci beaucoup, messieurs les modérateurs. Merci à tous les participants. La technologie nous a faussé compagnie juste avant que nous entrions dans cette salle. On a connu un petit problème technique. Mais qu'à cela ne tienne, je suis le délégué de la République démocratique du Congo et je me présente. C'est M. Liboko Bingele Alfred. Je suis le secrétaire général au ministère des Ressources hydrauliques et électricité. Je rectifie puisque tout à l'heure, Excellence Madame la ministre de la Tanzanie m'a appelé ministre. Non, je ne le suis pas, je représente le ministre. Merci. Le compact énergétique national de la RDC vise à transformer les paysages énergétique d'ici 2030, en augmentant l'accès à l'électricité de 21,5 à plus de 60% et en électrifiant plus de 60 millions de personnes supplémentaires. Les engagements clés incluent la promotion des énergies renouvelables, hydroélectricité, solaire et le gaz, la valorisation de la biomasse, et l'accès à la cuisson propre pour 40 millions de personnes. Le pays s'engage à mobiliser plus de 19 milliards de dollars d'investissement privé et à créer un environnement favorable, notamment via l'autorité de régulation du secteur. Engagement clé et objectif d'ici 2030. Accès électrique. Augmenter le taux d'accès à l'électricité à au moins 62%. En réhabilitant les infrastructures électriques et en construisant En pipeline, je signale qu'on a plusieurs contrats signés déjà, contrats de concession signés en faveur des privés pour le développement de ce site-là. Aussi, on tient à maintenir la part des énergies renouvelables à 95% dans les mix énergétiques, tout en quintuplant la capacité de production. Cuisson propre, atteindre 30% d'accès à des solutions de cuisson propre contre 1% actuellement. Aujourd'hui, nous continuons à utiliser beaucoup plus le bois énergie au lieu d'aller vers la cuisson propre. Donc, nous sommes obligés de passer de 30% en 2030 contre 1% actuellement et atteindre 40 millions de personnes. Investissement, mobiliser environ 37 milliards de dollars, dont la moitié reviendra à l'État et l'autre pour le privé. Réforme. Nous allons mettre en place, nous avons mis en place l'autorité de régulation qui va assurer un environnement propice au secteur privé, renforçant des capacités de l'ARE et du ministère des Ressources hydrauliques. Réduction de la dépendance. Réduire la consommation de bois énergie de 46% d'ici 2035. La RDC s'appuie sur son fort potentiel, 100 000 mégas pour atteindre ses objectifs, se positionnant comme un acteur majeur de la transition énergétique en Afrique. À cet instant, nous voulons beaucoup plus développer les stratégies pour transformer nos richesses, disons, nos minéraux en interne, en vue de booster cette transition. Pour votre information, voici les principaux axes d'investissement et projets phares. Le projet phare, c'est toujours le projet Grainga. Les pays misent sur son immense potentiel pour stabiliser les réseaux nationaux et industriels. Le projet Grainga est le projet phare dont les investisseurs se bousculent et un cadre doit être mis en place. La centrale de Kintuka, le développement du bassin de Louvois, là où il y a plus de 3000 mégas à développer, et le bassin de Inkisi, ainsi que la centrale de Kintuka, comme je disais. Nous misons aussi sur la décentralisation et mini-réseau. Je salue à part ça la Tanzanie qui a fait mieux. Je pense qu'on va partager cette expérience pour atteindre nos objectifs. Donc, pour atteindre les zones rurales et périurbaines, les compacts privilègent les solutions locales. Il y a à cet effet un fonds Mwinda, un fonds qui est mis à la disposition de l'ANSER en vue de subventionner le déploiement des mini-réseaux solaires et des kits domestiques. Il y a des projets, Nourou à Goma notamment, qui a installé un site de 1,3 mégas pour atteindre les petites moyennes et les ménages. L'électrification de plusieurs cités qui s'élèverait à 42,7 millions pour la ville de Monéditou. Ventilation du budget. Les compacts segmentent les besoins financiers comme suit. Production d'énergie, 20 milliards, 3. Réseau hors réseau, off-grid, 8,3 milliards de dollars. Distribution, 4,2 milliards. Cuisson propre, 600 millions de dollars. 4. Partenariat et secteur privé. L'objectif est de mobiliser près de 20 milliards via le secteur privé. Le gouvernement.
Interpretation, please. We have lost you.
It's back already.
Okay, thank you.
Je suis presque à la fin. L'objectif est de mobiliser près de 20 milliards via le secteur privé. Le gouvernement, à cet effet, renforce pour cela le rôle de l'autorité de régulation afin de garantir la sécurité juridique des investisseurs. Voilà en tout et en résumé, en complément de ce qui a été dit hier concernant toujours les axes à prendre et les piliers à respecter par rapport à notre compact énergétique. Je dis et je vous remercie.
Thank you so much, Permanent Secretary. Yes, I think the great Inga is what has been touted as one of the saviors of the continent, and with the potential also to export this power to Europe and other places. So I think it's important that we realize that this dream does not remain a dream. Yeah, there's no translation. Translation, please. Translation, are you in? Okay, thank you. Sebo, right? Okay. Yes, so let's see that I think the call to action is let's have this. Your channel. No, this one. Yeah, you need to change the channel. Yeah, French. Okay. Yes, so thank you so much. And also the issue that your target, you're looking at 62% by 2030, right, of access. And then the capacitation of the regulatory authority so that it can help to create that enabling environment to allow private participants to, have that assurity that, they can operate freely, they can develop regulations, standards, and to assist, to unlock that 19 or 20, almost 20 billion from private sector to support the National Energy Compacts. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to open the floor. Any questions from yourselves? Yes, PS Mozambique.
Yeah, thank you, moderator. I wanted to ask the Honourable Minister to elaborate more on INGA project. We know that we're waiting for a long time. All Africa waiting for this project. I think since I was joining different COPs, INGA always there in terms of promotion. But what's happened now? When will we have INGA? Definitely. What's happened now? Maybe you can. What's the target in terms of implementation? Thank you.
Merci pour cette question. Je pense, c'est vrai, INGA se trouverait pour la cause de la souveraineté en République démocratique du Congo, mais c'est un projet à partager, puisque ça va beaucoup plus éclairer l'Afrique et la RDC. Le projet INGA avance normalement, mais c'est un défi majeur. Il y a ce que nous appelons la gestion des risques. Il faut bien étudier. Et je pense que la Banque mondiale est dans cette salle, qui nous accompagne, la Banque mondiale et la BAD, à ce qui concerne ces gestions des risques. Il faut vraiment bien ajuster les choses aux vies des acteurs en présence. Donc, vous êtes SADC, je le suis, et je pense vous participez à toutes les réunions possibles, puisque ce n'est pas un secret. Les moments venus, on attend toujours la première pioche pour que nous soyons sûrs. Mais sur le plan administratif, ça avance bien. Merci.
Merci. Thank you. Any other question? I don't see any hand, so I would request, ladies and gentlemen, If we can give a round of applause to the DRC. So DRC, Africa's success is in your hands. We expect Grand Inga to be online. That's the expectation, that's the hope of the rest of Africa. Merci.
Je réponds. Non, il ne faut pas. Nous avons Grainga qui concentre 44 000 mégas. Mais nous avons les 56 000 mégas aussi éparpillés que nous devons développer pour la partie Est qui va nous aider. Tanzanie, Ouganda, Zambie. Nous avons aussi des projets communs. Et il y en a au nord. Donc, c'est au sud aussi, du côté Lualaba, il y en a. Il faut se focaliser beaucoup plus sur le tout. Certes, on aura les 44 000 dans un point donné, Inga, mais il faut voir aussi avec les 56 000 qui sont éparpillés à travers la République démocratique du Congo. À cet effet, j'en en fais beaucoup plus appel à tous les bailleurs de fonds, aux partenaires privés, d'arriver et de voir comment on peut ensemble exploiter les 100 000 que la RDC, 100 000 mégas que la RDC possède. Merci.
Gentlemen, let's give DRC a round of applause, please. Thank you so much. I want to say this has been, although I felt intimidated by languages when I was told that there's interpretation in the session that I'm going to moderate, but I believe it went very well. I think there were no hiccups that we faced. We all participated fully. The presentations were quite overwhelming. As you are aware, ladies and gentlemen, in summary, we started off with Madagascar giving us their national energy compacts, what they are doing, you know, with quite low access levels, but they've got real huge targets in front of them. From the issue of mini grids to also the issue of increasing generation, mobilizing capital. I think, to me, this is quite a huge development. Especially, we appreciate the fact that they've managed to mobilize 1 billion out of 6 billion being a budget to meet their commitments under the compacts. Then we also had, from a powerful delegation from the United Republic of Tanzania, under the leadership of Honorable Salome, the Deputy Minister of Energy, and of course, Engineer Commissioner Loga, who, by the way, is my board member. And yes, I think the issue of the Clean Cooking Initiative, URT being the champion of clean cooking on the continent. But of course, now I think it's global. It's no longer continental. I think that championship is global, so I would like to commend them for that. And of course, their budget, you know, for the National Energy Compacts, if I'm not mistaken, standing at 12 billion, yes, and with some considerable private sector target. I think we commend them as well for the issue of increasing generation capacity. Now we are looking at excess power that's available to us as a region. As soon as these interconnection projects that have been lined up, once they are realized, definitely we're going to be able to tap into that excess electricity that's available. But we also have the potential to export this power to our northern neighbors, moving up all the way to Egypt. So this forms part of the continental master plan. Thank you so much for that. Then after that, then we heard from the Republic of Mozambique. the issue of access being again a big challenge, but I'm happy that they are putting quite a lot of focus on solar home systems, so that given the distributed nature of the population, so solar home systems are going to form quite a big backbone of this aim to achieve universal access. The challenges that Mozambique faces in terms of its geographical position, in terms of the length of the country, that transmission backbone is quite a challenge. But I think efforts, as has been mentioned, are there, looking at quite extensive transmission at 400 kV backbone that's being planned, as well as then Pandankoa coming in on stream, so that generation can be increased. But also, most important, the anchoring of clean cooking on LPG, given that Mozambique has got vast resources of gas. So we are looking forward to having this gas on board, not only for Mozambique, but for the rest of the region. Then, of course, with the DRC, we've all heard, okay, Mozambique, the compact budget, looking at about 18.6 billion, out of which 9.9 billion is coming from public funds and the balance coming from private sector. And they highlighted the issue of strong government ownership and commitment towards the compacts, which has been highlighted by all the member states, including DRC, where Permanent Secretary Leboko highlighted the resources that the country has. It's a huge country, but with lots of potential in terms of resources from hydro, solar, as well as gas. But also important, as you know, that DRC sits on large deposits of critical minerals, which are very vital for the energy transition. So we are looking forward to tapping into these resources, not only for the development of DRC, but also for the rest of SADC, as well as the continent. Their target of 62% of energy access by 2030, looking at this being supported by mini grids, as well as increased generation, not only from the Grand Inga, but also other projects inland. So we look forward to the realization of this, as well as the regulatory authority. I think DRC was one of the last countries to activate its regulator, and we believe now that this regulator is going to be capacitated and fully participate in the region. Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't want to look at the challenges. We all know that there are challenges, but let's look at opportunities. I think the opportunities are quite immense, and these opportunities have been highlighted. So let's address them. Let's harness these opportunities so that the community out there is looking forward to us. I'd like to borrow again the words from the Minister of Energy and Power Development of Zimbabwe, who said, when you give electricity, you are giving humanity, right? You're giving dignity to humanity. So I think that's very important. There are millions of people out there looking towards, looking at us so that we can provide dignity to them. Anyone without energy is no dignity. So let's work towards that. With these words, I would like to give a round of applause to all our distinguished speakers, all of you as well. Please, let's give all of us a round of applause. And I would like to request the presenters to come forward for a group photo. Right, Mr. Photographer, are we going to have a group photo? Oh, thank you. So please, Honorable Minister, PSCs, Honorable Ministers, please, if you can come to the podium so that we can have a group photo before we break out now for the closing ceremony. Is there an housekeeping issue? Okay. Tomorrow there's a site visit. So before you leave, if you can scan that QR code on the screen, you select which site you would like to visit tomorrow. Please just scan that for your site visit.